we're going to crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's going to make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's going to win that inch. And I know if I'm going to have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. There's 6 inches in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You got to look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're going to see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're going to see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're going to do the same for him. That's a team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals.
Ideas are bulletproof.
Welcome to the show, guys. Today is Friday, August 5th, 2011. This is Down the Rabbit Hole, and I'm your host, Popeye, from FederalJack.com. Today, I'm hanging out with my good friend, Mike Vail, and I'm going to get his moody opinion on a few different issues on a range of things. The news is just incredible, and every day we're just accelerating faster and faster and faster. It's incredible. I mean, you have a woman, I mean, TSA's out of control as always, but it's getting worse. Now they just randomly take some woman's insulin and say, you can't have this, and I can't tell you why you can't have this. Her insulin, obviously she's diabetic, so she needs her insulin to survive. And they just confiscate it. They let her have her needles and everything else, but they just take her stuff. It's her insulin. They can't tell her why. That's the best part. Oh, we can't tell you why, but we're just going to take it. Unbelievable. You got NATO leaving a boatload of refugees out in the middle of the sea to drown from Libya. These are people that are fleeing the ongoing war that NATO started by bombing the crap out of Libya. And they were having their own civil war, obviously fomented via intelligence services, and Al-Qaeda is involved. But here you have NATO coming in and bombing the crap out of it. Innocent civilians are fleeing. They're getting on boats. They're overcrowding boats. And when they get on these boats, these people are, starving. They've got no food, everything else. And what does NATO do? NATO leaves them out there to rot. The Italian Coast Guard went out and picked them up. And they said out of like 400, there was only about 300 of them that survived. So about 100 people died because NATO warships just said it's not our problem. I find that reprehensible. I don't know about anybody else. But this isn't the first time this has happened either since we've been bombing the crap out of Libya. So it's not like this is a isolated event. Mike, what's your take on that?
It's crazy. Okay, when you have NATO, and let's just put this aside. NATO's whole job was supposed to be, according to their original charter, they were supposed to monitor the U.S. and Europe because of the Warsaw Pact and, really what happened in World War II. Today, NATO is a part of the, global police state now. And NATO bombing their own allies, killing innocent civilians. Again, just watching people drown. Of course, this is indicative of the institution of NATO since day one. Nothing good comes from NATO.
Well, NATO was originally formed to stop the communist threat in Europe. Since there's no more communist threat.
Which the bankers funded.
And most of them fund NATO.
Yeah, it's like we're going to fund these guys over here. We're going to bomb the crap out of them, kick them in their teeth, okay? And then, we'll fund these guys, give them weapons, and it'll be a nice little, shadow puppet theater for everyone to enjoy.
It kills me, man. It really does. It kills me that people can't see through this. When a lot of people are waking up. That's the one good thing about Obama and the rest of these hypocritical scumbags and all these, this tyranny. It's waking people up that 3-4 years ago, when I said to people, hey, this is what's going on. You're a crazy tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist. Now I have people coming up to me saying, dude, you were right. I've had people apologize to me. I'm sorry. You were right. Now, see, that's someone that can get over their own ego.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Somebody that can get over their own ego enough to say, I was wrong. I had to do it.
We all have to do it, man. I mean, even when we're in the realm of research and constant research, even then sometimes we're wrong. I've been there, okay, and I know that I make mistakes and have to sometimes start from scratch and just be a better person. And we have to destroy our own egos to see things the way they really are.
Without a doubt. Because if our false ego, and for people that don't understand what we're talking about, a crash course on this would be to go watch the movie Kymatica by Ben Stewart, who I'm working on getting on the show. I have interviewed him once before when we used to do our own little blog radio type thing on TalkShoe back in the day. But Kymatica is a good movie to go understand what I'm talking about when I say, get over your false ego. It's like I say anything else. You can't accept what's going on until you get over your false ego and you realize that there's more to it than just yourself. I don't make any money doing all these radio shows. In fact, I'm going to be doing more hours of radio during the week than I do now, and coming up soon. So I don't get paid for any of this. I don't have any sponsors. I don't have people beating my door down saying, Popeye, you're awesome. We want to give you hundreds of dollars to, make your network grow. No, I have Jimmy X, who owns the Orion Talk Radio Network, and he took a chance and gave me a free spot. And I'm helping him as best I can, make the network grow. But none of us get paid for this. None of us, even we have a couple sponsors for the network itself. And that money is not much, believe me. It's maybe like, I can't even say a number, but I know it's less than like, a couple $100 a month. And that
just to keep everything on air.
Yeah. And that pays for the server time or the server space, the air time, everything else, 24 hours of broadcasting. And we don't charge fees for anything yet. You know what I mean? Like eventually, once we grow and we get bigger, we'll be able to charge subscription fees, and we're adding all sorts of things to our network that nobody else has. We have a crack team of IT people doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? Mike, you and I were talking during the break. This kind of stuff, it's not easy to do. That stuff's not easy at all for anybody to do. It takes a lot of time. None of us get paid for this. We all do it because we feel it's our duty to do this kind of thing. I feel this is my duty to stand up and warn my fellow citizens. I care about everybody. That's why I come on this friggin' radio show, and I bitch, and I try to go out and I find you guys some of the most hard-hitting interviews, at least I feel. I try to find you guys guests that are important, because if I don't, why are you wasting your time listening to me? You know, it's my duty to bring a good radio show to you. You know, that's why I have guys like Mike Vail on my show. Mike's a friend of mine, but I respect his opinion because he's well researched. He's a smart man. You know, so for us to do this stuff, it takes a lot. I guess what I'm getting at is, I expect other people to do the same. If we want to save our country, everybody has to get up off their butts. Okay? So help us out. We'll be right back. We're going to break. Stay tuned.